Hi, this is Pastor Dave from St. John Lutheran Church in Woodbury, Minnesota. And this is the first of what will probably be quite a few videos that we'll be putting up on a daily basis, at least on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. And as you can see from the title of this video, we're calling this 5 Minutes of Hope. And the reason that we're calling it this is with everything that's going on, with the pandemic, with the uncertainty, the unknowns, the restrictions, the fears, the worries. We really do need hope in these uncertain times. And Scripture tells us that we are called to set our minds on things above. And so this is a way that, especially if you're like me, it's a way to kind of pull ourselves out from getting sucked in from article after article, news story after news story, post after post about all the things that are wrong in the world, all the things that we should be afraid of, and get our minds focused on Christ and the hope that He provides, especially in the darkest of times. And so what we're going to be doing, especially during these first handful of posts, is I want to look at some of the bigger tragedies, the bigger global crises that we see in Scripture, and how we see God's faithfulness throughout. And we're going to start today by looking at the flood account in Genesis chapter 6 through 8. And you may or may not be familiar with this account, but shortly after God had created everything in this world, it says that humanity got so evil and so wicked and so depraved that God actually regretted creating humanity. And so His solution to that was to send this global flood to wipe humanity off the face of the earth. But even there, even in the midst of this global flood, this global tragedy, we see God's grace, we see His mercy, that even though humanity was wicked to its core, God shows His love to Noah and his wife, to Noah's sons and their wives, and He spares them. And He also spares His creation, so He brings 2 of every kinds of animal on to the ark, and He is with them. And so God is with them for those 40 days and 40 nights when they're trapped up on the ark. And I think I know for myself, and you might be like this too, I'm going to read this account differently now, trying to imagine what life must have been like, cooped up, essentially quarantined on this ark for 40 days, 40 nights. We're getting a glimpse of that right now while stuff just ravages all around us. But God was with them just like God's with us right now. That He did not abandon Noah and his family. He didn't abandon the animals, just as God has not abandoned us even now with everything that's going on. And then even afterwards, when Noah and his wife and his sons and their wives and the animals, when they finally leave the ark and they're faced with a new normal, a new reality, again, God is with them and God blesses them. And that's one thing that'll be really interesting to me. I've talked to a few people about this, that what is life going to be like, whenever this pandemic passes us by, whenever we do get through this, what's the new normal going to be like? What kind of things will we learn? What kind of things will be taken away? What kind of new realities will exist in light of what we're going through right now? And I'm very curious to see what that will be. But again, we as God's people, we're so incredibly certain that whatever life is like after this, just as God is with us now, He's going to be with us then. That God's blessings, which He placed upon Noah and his family, God's blessings will be upon us as well. That just as when Noah and his family left and God gave him a covenant, the covenant that says, I will be with you, I will not destroy the earth in this way ever again, that God's going to be with us. And His covenant, that covenant of blessing that we have because of Christ, that covenant of blessing that says we are forgiven, we are loved, we are saved, we are God's children, that is with us now. And just as it was with Noah after the flood, it's going to be with us after this pandemic passes us by. And so my prayer is for you right now, again, especially if you're filled with worry, with anxiety, with all the unknown, that's completely understandable. I pray that you would cling to God, that you would trust in God, that you would trust in His promises to you, that you would trust in the salvation He won for you, just as Noah did during his time in the flood. And remember that you are God's beloved, and whatever may happen, you belong to Him, and that will never change. So God's peace be with you today. Be filled with His Spirit. Be filled with His blessing. Be filled with His protection. And know that whatever may happen today, tomorrow, and the next day, the Lord your God will be with you. God bless you.